Now, last time I said this man's name all fucked up, and after I did it, I realized like it's just very simple. It's poetic. It's just instead of a C, it's a K. But yeah. Um, all right. This video is by Poetic Flacco. This huge mistake just got Sean Kingston and his mom 10 years in prison. Good Lord, that's a long time.
The last 15 minutes of fame of Sean Kingston's career is officially over, but that's not even the worst of his problems. Sean Kingston is facing almost a decade in jail, and he's the reason why his mama is currently in custody facing a decade in jail as well.
Wait, he's the reason? Okay, so I just seeing stuff on Instagram and Twitter and shit, but someone was saying she's been a scammer for a while, like way before Sean started scamming, and then they just eventually started doing that shit together. And I was like, damn. And I was thinking, would y'all, like, given the chance, would y'all take the rap for your mom? Like, let's say she's scamming and you ain't got nothing to do with it. She get 10 years in prison, but then like she asks you, like, hey, like, can you say it was me? Would you do it? Because I don't know. I feel like the nice answer would be yes. And I love my mom. But she gonna have to do that time. She gonna have to do that time. Like, why was you scamming? Like, why you ain't ask for help? Like, well, what's going on? Like, you just doing this for fun? Because you don't need the money. Like, you could have asked me for help. Like, there's just so many options. Or like, that shit is just wild. I mean, yeah. I think would I do it for my siblings? Because I'm thinking like my mom's older, like she should know better. But like my sister, she like 5 years younger, so like would she know better? Mm, yeah, Ma, you have to do the time too. Because I'm like, I just don't understand. What was you doing that got you 10 years in prison? Like, how long were you scamming, and why you ain't share the money with me? That's number one. Number one, why you ain't give me nothing to hold? Mm, yeah.
Sometime last year, Sean Kingston and his mama was a subject of a federal raid. They raided his home and they arrested both his mom.
I'm sorry. I just remember there was like a video or a picture of Sean Kingston outside. Uh, like he and like that shit is so funny. Outside of his house is like it's just funny. Why he had no clothes on? I guess he was at home, but like still, that man thighs thick. Oh, okay.
And Sean Kingston.
Well, Christy and Janice, we have just learned that this is the home of singer and producer Sean Kingston. We are standing right off of Griffin Road and 178th Avenue. Off in the distance there, we were watching as these deputies were initially standing outside of the home, but in the last 15 minutes or so, I can tell you that they have now moved inside.
Sean Kingston is a thief, but he's the worst type of thief. He's the thief who wants to impose the burden of his financial troubles on everybody else. You see, Sean Kingston at some point was really rich. Now he's really broke. But instead of acknowledging he's really broke, he still wants to live like he's really rich. So he would impose the burdens of his financial instability on others by getting into financial agreements with other people, knowing he can't, fulfill those obligations with the intentions to defraud and steal from them.
In a complaint we obtained from the Broward Clerk of Courts, we learned that a company by the name of Ver Entertainment alleges that Kingston partially paid for a 232-inch television and entertainment system, but following the installation, never paid for that product in full, allegedly. The complaint also goes on to allege Kingston used his name and celebrity status to scam people out of products and services, never paying for them. Well, I just spoke with the attorney Dennis Card, who represents Ver Entertainment. Here's what he told me.
That's fucked up.
He has basically a sales pitch that he goes through to defraud people. He induces them into giving him really expensive things. We know that our property is inside this house right here. So as soon as the raid takes place, we're going to have a crew of people in there to deassemble it and take it back to its rightful owner.
But at this time, the complaint alleges he could be facing charges that include fraud.
Also, did y'all hear at least last year, when this first came out, people was saying he was scamming people by telling them that he had another song with Justin Bieber coming out, like he was gonna like have the money. But I'm just like, why didn't y'all just look him up? Like, when's the last time this man dropped some music? Like, why did they think? I don't know. I guess like scams, like if you just think the best of people, then you can easily fall for a scam. But like, I don't trust niggas. So anything someone tells me, I'm automatically doing my own research. Like if Sean Kingston was like, yeah, like I can pay you back, like how? How, sir? Like you ain't dropped music in 10 years.
And breach of contract.
This isn't the first time or second time or third time that we've
That's
heard
the picture.
Sean Kingston get accused of this exact same scheme, nor is it the first time that Sean Kingston will be in front of a judge facing fraud charges. All right, but we will get to that a little later in this video. But this
Get
time
off
around,
this
Sean
dick.
Kingston wasn't home. His mama was actually the only one arrested after the raid. To think that that man is somewhere right now snorting blueberry muffins and Twinkies while his mama is in handcuffs being put in the
That's
back of a
crazy.
patrol car on national television is crazy. Officials confirmed that Sean Kingston's mama was taken into custody on what they would describe as fraud and theft charges. Not your mama, cuh. Now, Sean Kingston took to his Instagram to respond back to running off on the plug for the 150th time.
Ringing off
No
on the
pun
plug
intended.
twice.
Sean Murdoff stated, "People love negative energy. I am good and so is my mother. My lawyers are handling everything as we speak." If I'm Sean Kingston's mom, bro, I'm looking around like Mr. Krabs, bro, because we've heard this before. And
Sean Kingston flexes things he can't afford.
You got one Cuban, team, got another Cuban. Y'all saying I own jewelry. Why I still got it then?
Turns out he never paid for these. He also bought $300,000 worth of jewelry with bounced checks. Yikes. And when he was asked about it, well, he just blamed the store.
These people they are very, very money hungry, and they only look at clients as a dollar sign, and that's not right.
And if that wasn't enough, he did it again.
Duh. They're money hungry. They're trying to sell you something. Duh. Why? What else would they want from you?
This time he bought a $46,000 Rolex, but only paid for half of it. It seems like some people just never learn.
And of course, the completely innocent Sean Kingston was arrested on a $45,000 bail and pled out to the charge. Sean Kingston had ample time to change his life. Before the feds came, when he was just getting caught up in these little petty thefts, he had time to change his life. He had time to not get his mama involved. But he didn't learn his lesson. Every time he got caught for doing something scandalous, he would just move on to find another victim. He would just deny it on social media, move on and find another victim, and so on and so on and so on. Eventually, he done scammed enough people, he couldn't go to nobody else. And the feds had to step in and stop him from defrauding people. Now, here's a flashback, before we get into the trial, here's a flashback of all the times that Sean Kingston has defrauded people that we publicly know of. Like the last time Sean Kingston almost got his mama in some real serious trouble. Sean Kingston actually pulled a firearm on this lady because they wouldn't let him scam them. Sean Kingston approached a local jeweler whose name is Sean coincidentally to purchase over $100,000 worth of jewelry. Now the local jeweler's homie knew Sean Kingston was a scammer, so he tried to warn his homie, but his homie really wanted this $100,000 deal to work, so he said F it and was still gonna go through with the deal with Sean Kingston.
Buy jewelry.
No, my customer called me up and say, Egal, I want to sell some jewelry to Sean Kingston. I say, yo, be careful, this guy's a crook. He owes me money. I'm suing him.
Sean Kingston was supposed to give $75,000 cash and a trade-in watch. When they pulled up, right on cue, it was some mess and BS. Sean Kingston didn't have $75,000 cash. Even though Sean Kingston told the jeweler to pick up the money on this day and time, he didn't have the money. So he said, okay, how about this, right? Take $24,000 cash, and then take this other watch as collateral, and then tomorrow I will give you $50,000 in the trade-in watch that we agreed on. So they said, okay, cool. It's weird you told us to come and pick up the money, but you didn't have the money. But okay, cool. What could go wrong? They must not know who Sean Kingston is, right? So the following day, the associate pulls up. Sean Kingston isn't home. So he gets his mama to go to the bank and withdraw the $50,000, right? The associate dropped the mom off to the bank, got the $50,000. They get back to Sean Kingston's home. Sean Kingston's mom hands her the $50,000 and said, here, give me the jewelry. The associate said, no. It was $50K plus the trade-in watch, which is very expensive, and we need that trade-in watch that Sean Kingston agreed to include within the deal. So the mom calls Sean Kingston to come to the house. He gets to the house, and despite already agreeing to the deal, he quickly tries to switch up the terms and starts to renegotiate and holds the associate hostage for 3 hours, trying to get her to take the $75,000 and not the trade-in watch, even though the jewelry is worth over $150,000. And the only reason they're accepting $75,000 cash from him is because he also agreed to give the trade-in watch. So eventually they couldn't agree. So Sean Kingston says, okay, here, bring back my money and I'll give you back the jewelry. I don't want it no more. So the lady says, okay, but could we both go together to get the jewelry? Because I don't trust that I'll be able to get this jewelry back from you as soon as I leave this crib. You could go anywhere with this jewelry. So they drive back downtown for them to retrieve the $24,000 from Sean Kingston, and this is where the lady would take over the story.
I'm sorry, how are you?
Good. Nice to meet you. So what happened?
I work at a jewelry store. I met Sean Kingston. We were going back and forth about some prices. He said, I don't want to do it no more. He had all my jewelry. He said, I don't want to do it no more. Just take me to get the money. We had picked up a certain amount yesterday. We picked up $24,000 from his mother yesterday. And I said, okay, well, I had them leave him with the guys because I don't want to hold $24,000. So I said, okay, well, we'll go pick it up. We all drove down here. And then I was like, give me the jewelry back. He's going to go get your money. I'm not letting you out the car. You're not getting your jewelry until I count my money. He counted his money. His friend counted it wrong. I had some of the jewelry on my lap in a box. And then his friend counted it wrong, and he was like, this is not enough. So he reached back, and he grabbed the box, but he didn't tell me what he was doing, so we were fighting over the box. So we started tussling, and then he just reached in his pants, because he had his gun in his pants. He reached his pants, he put the gun back, and then just turned around and was like, you won't give me my shit, I don't got all money. You need to fall the fuck back, because all the money is there. You need to slow down and count, instead of getting all hype and rowdy, arguing back and forth. And then I guess he got nervous, because I didn't get nervous about the gun. So then he was like, all right. I was like, let me count, since your friend can't count. So he was like, count. I counted, it came out right, and then he was giving me a hard time getting the jewelry. I got the jewelry, and I just got out. I just left.
But every time, literally every time,
That's crazy.
he just finds a way to get out of these situations. He's still not in jail for
Not this
yet.
time.
But Sean Kingston's scamming just don't stop at jewelry. Do y'all remember the time that Sean Kingston disturbed our timeline to let us know that he bought a jet?
Just bought a jet. I just bought a jet. I just bought a jet. I just bought it. Hey, God is amazing. When they tell you they can't, you can't. They hating on you. They want you to stop. They try to make you get in depression and feel less about yourself. Tell them niggas you.
That's so crazy because he'd probably be good if he just wasn't living above his means. Stop buying all this flashy shit. Sell the big ass house. If he just bought a regular 5-bedroom house, him and his mama, he don't even gotta work no more. I don't know. I guess people just aren't content with their lives. He just has to be flashy, but you can be happy without living this luxe life. I'm sure he can make money just doing. He honestly could get a regular job, or just do content. I'm sure someone will watch this nigga. He's famous.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, it's a blessing though. You did. You see that? You see that? I got rooms on room, man. This shit hold 14 people. Ain't gonna be 14 in here though. We ain't gonna pack it out like that now. But
and why you buy such a big jet?
Brandon, what's poppin', my boy?
Sean, leave God out of this, man, please. But it turns out, surprise, surprise, he tried to finesse them folks too for their jet.
Time of how Sean Kingston scammed me and my company. So I am a private jet broker for Nava Jets, and I also run their social media. So one day we got a message from Sean Kingston.
He scammed the jet people.
He was interested in one of our planes for sale and came to Palm. He said he was going on tour and wanted this plane ready soon, and there was no Wi-Fi. So we flew the plane from Palm Beach to Fort Lauderdale for our mechanics to install the Wi-Fi for him, for it to be ready for his tour. and this was out of our expense. We have to pay the pilots and for the fuel and everything. He came again to Fort Lauderdale, brought his family and friends. We popped the champagnes, we shook hands, agreed on a price, and they signed the contract. The contract stated that the payment is due in full within the 3 days of signing. And Sean was posting that this is his jet, that he bought it with not even $1 down. He's telling us that we can be in him and Justin Bieber's new music video, just leading us on, saying that he would promote Nava Jets.
Are y'all starting to see the trend here? He uses his I'm just let the lawyer in the beginning of the video describe exactly how Sean Kingston lures and finesse victims.
He has basically a sales pitch that he goes through to defraud people. He induces them into giving him really expensive things. We know that our property is inside this house right here. So as soon as the raid takes place, we're going to have a crew of people in there to disassemble it and take it back to its rightful owner.
Whole time they thinking they about to get paid. Sean Kingston trying to finesse him to let him get the jet in exchange for promotion. Sean, you a cold dude, Sean.
So does he think, wait, I'm confused. Did he just steal a jet, or is he renting the jet but then pay for the rental? I mean, both are bad, but one's worse.
And just a bunch of crap.
Because who's
when
flying?
The third day came and the payment was due.
He got a license?
And they blocked us. They said it was our obligation to help find them a plane since the plane wasn't ready. There was no Wi-Fi installed, but we were trying to help them for 3 weeks to sign the contract so the plane would be ready in time for him to fly to Vegas for his show. But then I googled Sean Kingston, and this is what he does. He's a con artist, and he's a scammer, and he scams people. He was stealing jewelry in New York City, and just at the end of the day, he's not a good person. And I just don't know how you could do that to someone when
That's
the
your
contract
problem.
was signed.
You should have Googled him firsthand.
KINGSTON. Shout out to Nava Jets.
Listen, man, I'm not saying don't finesse, bro. I'm just saying, bro, just keep your mama out of it, man. But he didn't keep his mama out of it. When the trial started, we got access to text messages and other things that truly showed how Sean Kingston got his mama involved and how she was actually warning him not to do the things he was doing.
Alongside his mother, Janice Turner, also charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and more.
You didn't need to run like that.
We heard from Turner herself in court. We heard from case agents from several victims who claimed they were all swindled out of high-dollar luxury goods.
Where are they running?
Things like this
we don't know who
colossal
they are.
TV, a bulletproof Cadillac Escalade, even hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of watches from jewelers, and then given phony wire transfer receipts to allegedly try and convince them that they've been paid. The items all seized in a raid on their Southwest Ranch's home. In closing arguments, federal prosecutors shared dozens of text messages between mother and son as proof. Specifically, mom worried he had no money for all these jewelers, writing, "What's up with you and all this jewelry, bro? Focus on your craft," according to prosecutors. He responds in another message, "Mother, you don't listen to me, and I told you to make a fake receipt." She says, "Please screenshot and send it to him." The defense saying that some of the payments were made, some of the goods were given back, but prosecutors are arguing that doesn't change that this happened. There are 33 fake receipts of wire transfers. We're going to wait and hear what that jury says. It's got to be unanimous.
I can't even begin to boggle my head around this. This is odd behavior. This is very odd, bro. If you don't have the money to pay people, then why take the items? You know beforehand you don't have the money. So then why continue to buy luxury things? Yo, this man was disgustingly spending money, bro, that he didn't have. This man bought a $100,000 TV, bro. Excuse me? I can understand, bro, falling behind on your bills, right? Falling behind on things like rent, the water bill, the light bill. But you're falling behind on jewelry, on a $100,000 TV. Outrageous. Makes no sense.
Who is he buying these things for? Because who is checking for Sean Kingston? Or maybe that's why he is buying the stuff, because he wants someone to check for him.
Falling behind on things that you cannot afford, and you're going into the purchase knowing you can't afford it, and having your mom create fake wire transfers and fake receipts so they can think you paid them to get the items in your possession when you didn't, and then you run off with it. Bro, you're trifling. Now, all the people who we just mentioned earlier in this video, They all came to court to testify.
Right now at 5:30, rapper and singer Sean Kingston back in court today for day 3 of his federal fraud trial.
And more of Kingston's victims are taking the stand today, describing how they say they lost money in various business dealings with him. Local 10's Roy Ramos is joining us live in Fort Lauderdale tonight with the latest from the courtroom. Roy?
Christy and Louie, today we got a chance to hear from a car salesman, a luxury watch salesman who say they were both duped by Kingston and his mother when they were provided fake wire transfer receipts and never paid for their products. About what happened in court today? Singer Keshawn Anderson, better known by his stage name as Sean Kingston, and his mother, Janice Turner, back in the downtown Fort Lauderdale federal courthouse for day 3 of their trial. The two now facing multiple federal wire fraud charges, prosecutors say, stem from allegations the pair would falsify payment documents as a way of defrauding businesses and people out of luxury items like $115,000 colossal TV, high-priced watches, and vehicles.
What does he watch?
Wednesday, the government calling car salesman Andre Bush to testify, who claims to have met with Kingston at his Southwest Ranch's rental home to sell him a Cadillac Escalade. Bush testifying he was given a fake wire transfer receipt and never received the funds, but when he attempted to take the luxury SUV back to the dealership, he said Kingston became aggravated and refused to release it. Only after receiving a down payment of $20,000 was the vehicle left at the home. The defense arguing multiple payments were made to the dealership totaling $70,000, and because the SUV was ultimately taken back to the dealer when his home was raided by Broward Sheriff deputies, Kingston was the only one who lost in the deal. A luxury watch salesman from Mazal Jewelers testifying he released a $285,000 watch similar to this one when he said he was promised future celebrity clients. It was only after that salesman, too, allegedly received a fake wire transfer receipt, he said, he realized he was being scammed.
He was obviously found guilty. Now, catch this, okay? So apparently he broke down in court when they was found guilty, all right? He broke down in court. His mama, for some reason, which I don't know why, she was taken into custody. He was allowed to come home to await sentencing, but she was taken into custody. I still don't know.
Okay, see, that's why I thought his mom was the one like the head in charge, because she wasn't allowed bail. Like what else would be the reasoning behind that? Unless, but the text messages suggested something different. Like the text messages that he showed suggested that she was trying to tell him like you shouldn't be doing this. But if his mom got more time, doesn't that mean she did more stuff? I don't know
why that is. But when the officials was taking away his mother, he tells them, protect my mother as they face a decade in prison. Bro, it's nobody's job to protect your mama but your own. It's your job to protect your mama, bro. And you put your mama in harm's way. After literally causing all of this, he took to his Instagram after court to say, lately they've been trying to break me on the daily. Now, check this out. While his mama is in a cold jail cell right now, he takes to his Instagram. Now, if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see that tiny image right there. So catch this. So I screenshotted it and blew it up. So while his mama is rotting away in a cold prison cell, Sean Kingston is promoting a new song. Bro, you gotta be a special POS, bro. You gotta be a special POS, bro. You promoting a song after you are the reason why your mama is currently in a jail cell facing a decade in prison?
I just don't my son,
your
bro.
mama is of the age right now. I think she's in her 50s.
She might.
Maybe
she might.
60. She's in the age range right now, bro, where your mama could possibly die in jail.
Yeah.
Bro. And you are out here promoting a song. Don't be like Sean Kingston, man. Don't be like, yo, this dude is ridiculous, bro. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? All right, do you guys feel like Sean Kingston is to blame for his mama? All right, do you guys feel like a decade is good enough? Let me know, okay? And if you're still watching, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out why a very reputable 60s members is upset.
That was a good video. I need to look into it some more because it doesn't make sense why his mom would get more jail time or get denied bail unless she already did something. Like maybe she had Maybe she had priors or something. Maybe that's why.